Ami, just go back to the sunken submarine. A couple of things that have kind of leapt out from the tragedy there. One was that the CEO who did perish had spoken previously in a kind of woke way about not having old white men working on it or something like this, which seems an interesting take on diversity and inclusion and so on. The other thing is the allegations that the Navy and James Cameron and others all knew that the vessel had sunk on Monday. Back to your point about the media and James's point running cover for the Biden administration, why on earth did it take 5 days for the Navy or the White House to admit that the Navy knew that the thing had sunk?
I would like to think there's a perfectly reasonable and innocent explanation on why they sat on this for so long. I'd like to think that was because they didn't know definitively, and they certainly didn't want to release that information. They didn't have definitive proof that they were all dead. I would like to think that. I hope that's true. I can't imagine that they would hold on to this to keep it in the news in order to displace, this is what some people are saying, I don't necessarily believe it, but in order to displace the Hunter Biden news, and that this was dominating the news coverage, and Hunter Biden took second place to it. I would like to hope and think that that wasn't the case, and I don't think that it was. It is odd. I mean, James Cameron said very early on that once he heard that they had that implosion sound, he knew exactly that was the perishing and the death, unfortunately, the people on board. And talk about famous last words. God, it is unfortunate. Those were unfortunate words that they dug up about him. But it goes back to those words you hear all the time and the sentiment you hear about people all the time when it comes to diversity in sensitive areas like pilots or doctors. If you want somebody who you think is a diversity hire, flying your plane or working on surgery, and this just kind of highlights that because they met their end. And obviously we don't know it's because of improper, personnel in dealing with this. But obviously, those words echo very loudly over the tragedy of what happened with that.
Absolutely. Ami Horowitz, always great to chat to you. And yes, you would be horrified to think that the White House was that cynical, but I got the inkling that way in the back of your mind there, you wouldn't be surprised if you did find out that were the case. But maybe I'm just putting thoughts into your head, Ami, and heaven forbid I should ever do that.